I think for me the most difficult things is grammar, because a lot of Russian people have problems with articles. We don't have articles in Russian language. We have a teacher, his name is Jake, and he knows quite a lot about different problems of different nationalities. For example, he always help Japanese people and French people with pronunciation. He tried to explain them how to pronounce some words, and he's training with them on the lesson. And he helped me a lot with my problems with articles.
I would like to say it depends entirely on the individual, but in fact, more often it depends entirely on the educational system they're used to and where they come from. So we have students from the Middle East that come from a very almost choral learning education system, and they have more difficulty with work on paper because that's not how they're used to interpreting things. And students from Korea, on the other hand, will have a completely different approach, be far more comfortable with grammar exercises on paper than they will with physical output. The teachers here all have a lot of expertise in knowing what sort of educational systems the students come from and knowing how that's likely to affect the errors that they make or the problems that they have in their classes. And we can balance that out quite nicely. They all have very different skills, very different needs. A Swiss student, for example, will have plenty of exposure to native pronunciation through the amount of media that he or she has consumed already, but will possibly have slightly shaky grammar because you don't necessarily pick up excellent grammar by watching American films. Oriental students will most likely have studied a lot of grammar from books but had very little time to express themselves. They will struggle with pronunciation, especially if they're from Thailand or Korea, where the mouths develop in a very different way.